Welcome to today's Fit Q&A with Carrie. And I'm sitting here in my office chair. Today's question comes from an Edward Jones office led by Joy. Joy wants to know, I'm sitting in my desk so many hours a day. What can I do in my work clothes in just a few minutes every hour to make sure that I don't atrophy and to make sure that I remain flexible? Atrophy means that your muscles will shrink if they're not used, right? And inflexibility happens from being in one state for too long. So, Joy and other people that are stuck in your office chair, you need to have a timer on your computer or on your phone that tells you and reminds you that it's time to get up every hour. And take 5 minutes to take a walk around, but not just that. You can add some strength and flexibility as you go. So, and this you can even do every 30 minutes because it's so quick and easy, right? You got to get up out of your chair. What muscles do you need? You need these, your leg muscles. So you're not just going to stand up. You're going to do a few of these before you actually get up and go. And I'm just barely touching my hiney back to the chair. I'm sitting way back over my heels. And I'm not even straightening my legs up all the way, but I am strengthening my legs as I go. Okay? You can sit back down in your chair, or after you've walked around, come back down, sit down in your chair. If you've got arms, you're going to use the arms here. If you don't have arms in your office chair, you're going to use the seat. And you're going to walk your feet out just a little bit, tuck your shoulders down back and behind you, and bend your elbows. Now, the longer you have your legs, the harder it's going to be, but elbows need to press straight back and narrow to your body. And that is opening your chest and strengthening the back of your arm at the same time. Okay, so let's talk about what muscles are going to atrophy besides just the back of the arms and the legs. You become in sort of this rounded position, right, when you're sitting in a desk too much. And so we need to strengthen and add flexibility to our upper back. So you take a moment when you're standing up and take your hands behind your back and straighten them out, tuck your tummy in, ribs flat, tailbone down, and try to swap your hands, but behind you, okay? Squeeze your shoulder blades as you go. Try to get your arms as straight as you can. Squeeze your triceps, open your chest all at the same time. Swap while you're standing here for a few minutes, maybe even. You're going to start to feel like, hey, something's happening in the back of my arm, in the back of my shoulders, and then stop and open, press straight back and up. Like you're swimming through some tough water. You're just pushing the water back behind you. Notice that I'm not leaning forward. I'm trying to keep my torso still, my abs in tight and strong from hip bone to hip bone. And you're squeezing your shoulder blades together down low. Not way up here, down low. Squeezing and pressing straight back behind you with your palms. And then release that. So, great for the upper back and the back of the arm too. Let's make sure that our legs are feeling strong. We've been sitting around. We've got some atrophy maybe in the back of the leg, okay? So we're just going to do this. We're just going to hinge forward with a flat back, and we're going to stand right back up. Notice that I'm keeping my legs straight. And for a beginner, you're going to feel the stretch and the pull at the same time. Okay, so you might be standing sort of by a desk. You got a few minutes here to do some bend over, hinge over movements. Okay, but if you're strong and you're like, okay, this isn't doing much for me, well, then put one toe behind you and don't really use that leg. Just have the toe behind you resting on the floor. Use one leg and then switch and use the other one. Maybe do as many as 12 repetitions on each side. And we're adding flexibility and strength to the back of the leg all the way into the hip. Okay, so now another issue is that we've got tightness here. Why? Because we've been sitting so much that the muscles are starting to get tight and closed in the hip flexor area. So what can we do? We're going to put one toe behind us and we're just going to hinge our hips forward and tuck the tailbone down. And then we're going to switch and we're going to do the other side. Hinge forward, tuck that tailbone under, pelvis forward. Okay, and also for the chest, because this happens, right? So opening the chest back up, grab your own hands behind your back, press down and back with your hands, and sort of eke your shoulders down and away from your ears to open that chest up. And then you can even go into goal post, right, and press open and back. Well, what can I do for my core if I'm not going to lay down and do crunches? You don't have to, right? You can do anything for your abdominals even all day during the day. While you're sitting, you can be contracting your abdominals. See my flat belly system? That can help a lot with that. So you can focus on alignment, breathing, and posture all day long to get your abdominals strong. And when you're up and taking your break, like double check on that stuff. I'm breathing nice and strong with core connection across here, keeping that in, keeping my ribs in line with the rest of me. And that's going to add definition and strength to your core already. But if you've got another minute or so, go back into that goal post, right? And just kind of twist side to side, pretending like you're a doll, and you can twist from your center. Now, I know you're not a doll, and I know you're not going to be perfectly twisted from your abdominal region, from your center, but it's progress, not perfection. So squeeze from side to side. And you should feel like you just got some blood flowing, your brain feels smarter, you're stretched out, and now you're ready to do better work because you got up and moved a little bit. I hope that answers your question. All of you that are working in an office all day, set your timer for the next hour. Get up and do some of that work and that flexibility and let me know how it goes.